So from 3-9 last year to 10-2 this year, one of the best turnarounds in college football in recent memory. What has just been the overall vibe and the energy of this team, and what has propelled you guys to this success?
Really just the people in the building. A lot of times, in this day and age, people care about the athlete, but you got to coach the person before you get a chance to coach the athlete. So just recruiting good human beings that want to work. We didn't come up with a crazy formula, to be 10-2 and be able to play for a championship. We just have the right guys here that want to put in the work. They like being Sun Devils, so it's nothing much more deep than that.
You guys ended the season with 7 straight games, forcing a turnover. Obviously, last week, Welch coming up with that pick in the fourth quarter. What has it been with this secondary to be able to force all these turnovers?
Yeah, the OG Coach Walker is always, ushering, saying you get what you emphasize. So we had a big emphasis the last 7 weeks on creating turnovers, and Coach Ward sets a goal each week of 3 turnovers a game. We get 3 turnovers, we win the game. We haven't achieved that, every week for the past 7 weeks, but we've emphasized turnovers, takeaways, and we've been in a position to capitalize in those moments.
Obviously, Iowa State offense that has great passing game, 2 wide receivers with 1,000 yards this season. What is kind of the key to victory for you guys this week going against guys like that?
Just seizing the opportunity, to go against 2 wide receivers that are very productive. Both of these receivers have over 1,000 yards. Both of these receivers have next level aspirations with them playing in a Senior Bowl. So it's a challenge for our guys to show up when our number is called. This game is going to come down to moments, and how we play in those moments is going to define whether or not we win or lose the game. So nothing's changed throughout this week that's any different than the previous 12 weeks. It's just, we're going to have opportunities to affect the game, and what do we do in those moments is going to really define us. So, leading to this point, this is all the marbles right now. So guys know what to expect going into this game, playing under the bright lights. Some of my guys, like Keith Abney, gets to play at home, ironically, in Arlington. So it's what you sign up for. All these guys that bought into our vision, this is what they signed up for, to play for championships. And with it being our first year in the Big 12, what better message to send to, the guys that we want to pass the torch to. That goes for recruits that just signed with us today, and guys in the 26 class and 27 class and beyond.
You mentioned Keith Abney being from Texas. You yourself, a lot of roots in Texas, coaching at Houston, TCU, all those teams. What does it mean for you guys, having all these guys from Texas, to be able to play in front of a hometown crowd like that?
I think it's the pinnacle of what we've been trying to build here with the Texas to Tempe movement, but it's more so this entire team taking Tempe to Texas now and getting to play in Jerry's World for the Big 12 title. It's sentimental for everyone. Obviously the kids on our roster from the state of Texas, little do they know that, for example, Xavier and Alfred played in 2 state championship games in Jerry's World. So it's going to be familiar territory for some of our Texas guys, but, being a high school football player in the state of Texas, you dream about playing in Jerry's World. So for the Big 12 title to be in Jerry's World, for us to be recruiting a pipeline called Texas to Tempe, it's the cherry on top.
I know you're from Houston, but did you have an experience playing Jerry's World at all or coaching there at all?
Yeah, played in coached in Big 12 championship games at TCU and at Texas, so I'm familiar with playing for Big 12 championships.
Sure.
But this one means a lot more, and trying to get in that winner's column.
What can you kind of draw from that experience to help you guys this week?
Unbelievable experience. It's going to be a unique atmosphere. Usually when you go on the road, defensively, they're quiet. When you at home, defensively, they're loud. At a neutral site game, it's going to be utter chaos every snap throughout the game. So just making sure that guys are on their P's and Q's from a communication standpoint is going to be unlike any environment we've played in. So it's going to be hectic, and there won't be any downtime as far as noise in this game.
But all just being in an NFL venue, is there anything you have to tell the players, or the players have to maybe think of it differently, knowing that it's a bigger stage, bigger stadium than what they're used to playing in?
Not necessarily. I think they know that coming into this game. Guys have aspirations to play at the next level. This is that next level venue. So just taking in that entire moment. Obviously we'll probably walk through the stadium beforehand if we're given that opportunity. But to play in Jerry's World with a bunch of guys that have NFL aspirations, this is something that should keep them zealous. Should have these guys show unbelievable initiative, not leading up to the game, but after the game, no matter the result, as we head into, whatever's next for us. Yeah.
at the back end secondary, Shamar and Xavier are really showing out. You talk about the relationship and kind of how they work with each other and whatnot. They talked about how they play video games, and one's behind the other one. So you talk about the relationship with each other.
Yeah, that's the blessing of recruiting good humans. You see organic relationships, come together, and guys are more likely to meet the best man at your wedding in a college experience than, guys that you went to elementary school, middle school, and high school with. So it's unique. Those guys are sharing similar experiences, the highs and lows, especially Xavier and Alfred getting to experience Shamari step up in a level, being from Austin P, and getting able to share his experience last year while being, kind of on ice. So to see those guys playing at a high level and be able to get out there and look at each other is unbelievable. Those are two guys that have went in the transfer portal, kind of struck, found lightning in a bottle here at Arizona State. So, I mean, their relationship, they're probably the closest relationship as far as Xavier to Shamari to Xavier. I don't think anybody has exceeded their relationship.
And how important has that been to kind of success of the defense? I know, Miles is having a great season as well, the secondaries, but how important is for those two to have that bond for your team?
It's unbelievable, because two guys, Shamari being our team MVP last year, Xavier kind of being more of the voice, kind of in that captain leadership role. To see those two guys on the field, to see those guys have, the relationship that those guys have, others should look up to it, others should admire it, others on this team have that similar bond that, we're not telling that story today, but we could be telling that story, 2 years from now, 18 months from now. So when you have a roster of people that believe in coach's vision, and we don't have guys on our roster that are selfish, that have their own agenda, really great things happen.
And
go ahead.
On the field, how do they complement each other in terms of playing style and whatnot?
Playing style, Shamar is not a big talker. He's a more action guy. Xavier is the talker, but he's about that action as well. So when you got two guys that in between these white lines are about that action, other guys kind of can absorb. It gives everybody kind of like that Space Jam, drinking Mike's secret stuff type deal. So if those guys are hitting on all cylinders, it spills over to every other aspect of our defense.
Thank you.